Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level Marvel Rivals ranked cast. We've got a great game today for you with some 100 Thieves players. We've got the former rank 1 player bedtime story we've had before. We've got players like MACE, Nuck, Vinnie. We've got an incredible game, and that's not even covering all of them. But first, a reminder that if you enjoy these casts, a reminder of what I do here. I cast the high-level Marvel Rivals ranked players. Just grabbing the best games I can find, and then when MRC comes around, I cover that, releasing one video every single day. I'll also be starting a esports news recap show for Marvel Rivals starting mid-May. You are currently watching a pre-recorded video. It's recorded on the 29th because from the 1st I am away and will be recording again starting on the 5th or the 6th. So I'm pre-recording a load of stuff so that the videos keep coming out when I am not here. So if you don't get updates on anything that you mentioned in a previous comment, that is why. So, let's talk about our game. But first, reminder, like, comment, and subscribe to help grow the channel. And a big shout out to our members who help keep this channel going and help me keep making content for you all. I do the content because I love it, but I also love being able to afford groceries and being able to afford to live. So shout out to Puff Mendili, Roshula, Doki Poki, and our longest running member, John. Let's get ready to head into the game. We are back on Symbiotic Surface because I apparently just cannot resist the draw of Clintar. It's just everywhere. Every single time I try to get these games, I see a Clintar game. But let's head on in. Symbiotic Surface. Many Emma Frosts on the side of Red Team are being hovered here. Now, what do we see for these bans? Remember, this is a top-level game here. We're seeing players who are in the top 10s, in the top 20s. Bedtime Story used to be the rank 1 player. TERRA is, of course, on 100 Thieves. We got pro players all across that red team, actually. Gonna see the Human Torch. And we see Loki taken away. Loki really kind of fluctuating in popularity here. Because of their ultimate, Loki is still viable basically anywhere. And their healing output is still really, really good. But we are seeing sort of a jump around in terms of Loki's popularity these days. But it will get banned out this time. We're going to see Hela and Psylocke getting taken out. Leaving a lot of freedom over potentially to some of the flying heroes. If need be, a Star-Lord, perhaps. Or an Iron. There is Star-Lord. There is Iron Man. Storm would have been the other option, but we have not really seen any Storm this season at all. Season 1, we saw a little bit of Storm creeping in here and there, even though the majority of, like, the mid-ranked people seem to think that she was absolutely OP. But we didn't see too much for it all. Very frustrating. And of course, the second I say that, Storm starts being hovered. Let's introduce our players, ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side in the blue trunks on defense of Symbiotic Surface. We have 1.7.10 potpvp, which I can only assume stands for... What does POT stand for? Point of Tree... Protoss v Protoss. That's clearly what it means. They are playing the Lunar Snow. And on their team, we have Madman0066 returning again on that Emma Frost. Nectar is bringing out the Rocket Raccoon. Bedtime Story will be busted out that Namor. iEatBugzYT will be on that Iron Man. And MACE is on the Hulk, empowering that Iron Man and that Namor. Cool to see the combo. And on the right, in the red trunks, it is going to be Vinnie on the Emma Frost. Duck is on the Groot. Woofles, another top, consistently high-ranked player, will be playing that Lunar Snow. March did, in fact, bring out the Storm here, so absolutely cast a curse for me there. Getting belted by that Unibeam, though. SJP bringing out that invisible woman. And TERRA bringing in the Iron Fist and taking out the Rocket. They are in the backline. They are being a menace. They take out two. Wiped off the board there by Madman with that crystal, that diamond form crystal kick. Bedtime Story getting zoned off, and Red Team have absolutely run down Blue Team here. Point 1 gonna be taken so quickly here. barely even stopped for a bathroom break or to have a drink. They just rammed that in. iEatBug on the flank with a trap. Invisible Pulse Cannon comes out but is absorbed here. Tagged by the members of Red Team. Nuck getting melted here. That Unibeam, it's doing so much damage, but the healing output is spectacular right now. TERRA trying to deal with this Hulk, but will once again get melted. Bedtime Story. No more. A big punisher of characters who like to dive, people who go in for the backline. It's not a counter, but it is a punisher. It's making it so that if you do go into that backline, you're constantly taking damage. You're constantly being harassed. A good player can a lot of times engage and get out before that damage starts to add up, but it puts a clock on that otherwise might not exist. Continuing to send out the shots. Down goes iEatBugz. SJP with that invisible boundary. iEatBugz comes back at the BRB as TERRA comes on in. Invisible Pulse Cannon comes on out. Finds no one once again. Storm with the Omega Hurricane to try and burn through this backline. Fate of both worlds. Horde of Proteus. It's ultimate after ultimate after ultimate, and no one is falling here. Living weapon to try and find someone. Finally, MACE and March will fall. TERRA once again getting melted here. Up to the high ground. Will be able to take out Bedtime Story and make their way back to their team. And Red Team once again come out on top. iEatBugz focused down, chased down, and kicked all the way back to spawn. TERRA asserting iron dominance. Hulk Smash has to be dropped to stop being dropped into that puny battle form to try and help. They're buying a little bit of time for their team to make it back to the point so they can try and contest this. Pre-A point number 2. Group walls are coming out beautifully here. March has brought out an Iron Man of their own instead of the instead of the Storm. No team up, but still getting punched down. As iEatBugz swapped off their own Iron Man and onto an Iron Fist here to try and duel out, but now they have their own fight to deal with. How the roles have swapped here. As iEatBugz makes their way up to the high ground. TERRA pressuring onto Banner, who tries to grenade out but still gets focused down. The damage output is good. Bedtime Story is cleaned out here. And Red Team will once again claim a point. They head on through to the surface of Clintar. Bedtime Story mixing it up here. The Punisher has appeared with an Iron Man on the board. It's time to focus up. Hit them from long range. Work them down. They still have that Rocket Raccoon on their side, so they do have the ammo invention, which is going to be dropped out here. Looking for targets. Finds Groot. Straggling prison, but Groot is melted here. The follow-up damage isn't there thanks to that Mind's Aegis from Emma Frost as TERRA is chased down and picked off by Madman. Madman with the insane save there. We lost Luna, but the protection was good and that saves them from what could have been a very bad engage. March being forced to back up a little bit here, forced to retreat, has an Invisible Pulse Cannon, but is holding onto it for the moment. MACE has swapped off of the Hulk because there's no one left with the team up onto the Magneto to help protect their team. Final Judgment melts Iron Man. Marsh is taken out here. Oh, that is loud as TERRA try to absorb some of that damage with the deflect here. Vinnie with the psionic seduction, catching multiple members, but where's the follow-up damage? The rocket untouched as iEatBugz heads into the backline with the living weapon immediately into the invisible boundary to try and keep themselves alive. Caught by Vinnie, who locks them down with that diamond form, trying to chase onto March. The lock-on is so good, helping iEatBugz just stay locked in, but they are now very far out of position, very far outnumbered. But the mobility! Look at that tech, but is still going to get chased down and picked off as TERRA was able to chase them down. Living weapon for the counter. Psionic seduction up into the air, drops down, but is still going. Losing a lot of their ult there, but TERRA keeps the pressure on, able to help take down MACE. Madman also falls, and that cart is still moving in. TERRA into the backline to try and take out 1-7, but not enough. backing away. The absolute movement tech of some of these Iron Fist players is insane. Why does he fly? I love that meme. I love that meme so much. MACE is clearing him out. Straggling prison. Once again, the shield is gone. Invincible pulse cannon finds no one. But the Nuck is able to grab a triple elimination to capitalize and take advantage of that point. Bedtime Story is getting absolutely bullied. And that is going to be a triple cap for Red Team.
0, 2, 3.
Beautifully done here by Red Team, setting themselves up for what could be a very solid win here. 1 minute 30 left. Plenty of time if we head to overtime. So now Blue Team going to be on the attack. How do they adjust? Immediately, we are seeing Nectar off of the rocket, moving on to the Invisible Woman, getting rid of that ammo invention for Bedtime Story. Red Team, on the other hand, on defense, have decided that more running it down is appropriate. They are currently 0 strategist, running triple Vanguard. Triple Vanguard, triple Duelist. Group potentially looking to troll their team a bit here. Yep. Nuck. Nuck. Why? They're gonna work their way through that. Sometimes we do a little bit of trolling. We do a little bit of trolling here. Okay, they did get some strategists in the end. Woofles and SJP will bring out some healing for the team, so we don't go all in. No spider combo. Who sets up on the defense. We do see adjustments on the Blue Team, though, as Nectar has brought out the Adam Warlock Bedtime Story on the Mantis. We've seen what Bedtime Story can do on this character, and it is insane the level of damage that they can deal. They're full in on a Guardian's composition. Triple Strategist, double Vanguard, and solo Duelist. It's a Season 2 style of comp, and it works very well. Season 1, sorry. However, there is TERRA to deal with. Nice sleep. Nice snowball. Punish them. Keep them locked down, but TERRA not really caring. Soulbond making it so that this attack is a lot less effective, but Nectar is still going to get focused down and picked off as Blue Team are pushed back to spawn already. And this is a strong game for Red Team. March on this Iron Man, making it work. Takes a little bit of damage. Lunar Snow topping them up. TERRA in the doorway, waiting for someone to step up. Nuck falls. This is the opportunity for the move up by the Blue Team as they make their way in. Here comes the Soul Rejuvenation as they make them out to the point into the Invisible Boundary. Invincible Pulse Cannon comes out, catches Madman to burn through them here. Damage output is good, but it's an absolute massacre. It's up to iEatBugz to try and get some counter eliminations here, but with the Mind's Aegis, the complete zone, they find one and nothing more. They're now all alone, trying to get some damage onto the backline, but this push is over. They have to back up, and they have to wait for their team. Damage output still good. iEatBugz playing hypermobile, but that lock-on. Iron Fist. A very simple character to play in theory due to it having a lock-on, but requires a little bit of tech knowledge for that mobility. Karmic Revival being dropped right at the beginning of this fight, so that if anyone else falls, they can turn around. Side of Seduction comes in as Vinnie took out 1.7, but they make their way back in. iEatBugz falls, but will return at the Karmic Revival and might still have their cocoon. This is the opportunity for Blue Team to try and make something happen. MACE leading the way. Here comes Meteor M to try and burst someone. Finds absolutely nothing. Invincible Pulse Cannon also blocked. Invincible Boundary keeping the team topped up as Living Weapon into the backline, but that means that they're nowhere near iEatBugz, who's going all in. Fate of Both Worlds is shutting it down, though. There's no damage being dealt. It's completely abnormal, but a beautiful Psionic Seduction is locking down the team, giving them a little bit of time for a turnaround attempt as they try to get their attention onto March, but the Mind's Aegis blocks all the damage. And Red Team are holding out once again. Woofles keeping the team topped up with SJP. They lost one, but it's another absolute massacre. Huge shout out to Vinnie there as well. The Mind's Aegis to keep March safe. The one person who we may have seen iEatBugz be able to take out. They have abandoned the Star-Lord, and they are bringing back the Iron Fist once again. Into the backline. Dragon Kick not landing, but gets the mobility. They're on the move now. A distraction almost as much as anything else here. Onto Woofles, taking a little bit of damage themselves. They're going to get focused down here. Marsh is back here too. It's a 1v3, but they're holding out. Iron Fist so hard to take down. Will get taken out though. Invisible Boundary is going to be dropped next to with the Karmic Revival. Trying to get close enough to iEatBugz, which they will do, but now they're focused down. They have their own cocoon though. That brings us back into the fight. The Invisible Pulse Cannon came out, found no one. Fate of both worlds in the choke point from both Lunas to try and hold. A Psionic Seduction is going to come out to try and lock him in. Nectar is absolutely bodied. Hit 1.7, Mace Madman. It's a massacre. Living weapon to finish off the stragglers. Chasing in onto iEatBugz, who will be melted in that finishing animation. That is going to be GG. A convincing win for the red team. Nicely done. March taking MVP there. Let's have a look at some of these statistics. 37 eliminations. 3 more than TERRA. But TERRA with 17 final hits. Least amount of times getting eliminated. 3-way tie. Vinnie, Woofles, and SJP. None of them went down. Not once. I would have maybe given the MVP to Vinnie, but if you look, while their actual plays were insane, you can see their statistics don't show that as much. While they never got eliminated and they got 10 final hits, which is a better KD ratio than basically anyone else in the game, they did quite a bit less damage than March. March did get more final hits and more eliminations. And the damage blocked is a little bit lower than some of the other tanks, which is why you can't always just look at MVP and Ace and say, hey, I'm doing the best because I have the Ace. Sometimes you've got to look at the nuances, and you've got to see that Vinnie absolutely did insane work for their team. The strategists here did insane work for their team. March deserves that MVP, but it's equally well deserved by Vinnie, Woofles, or SJP there. As for SVP, Bedtime Story, going to be taking that here. I think that's fairly accurate considering 8 eliminations. Did get taken out 10 times, but everyone on that team got wiped out pretty hard fairly often here. 5 final hits. They were a damage dealer throughout part of that game as well, but even on the Mantis, still helping out. 19k damage, 29k damage for iEatBugz. Really stacking up those DPS numbers. Top damage is going to be 29k for iEatBugz, beating out March there. Most damage blocked, pretty close, but it's going to be Nook. 33k damage blocked, really stacking up some numbers there. 2k more than even Mace or Madman. And top healing. It's going to be 39k for Woofles, is what I'm talking about. Not going down once. Keeping the team topped up. 36k for SJP compared to the other side. 30k, 29k, 10k. You will see a lower spread of heals due to how this strategist lineup is set out. But still, an insane game from insane players there. I hope you enjoyed today's game. If you have some requests for games for me to cover once I'm back from vacation, leave the replay IDs in the comment section below. You can help out by picking some of your favorite streamers, seeing what games they're playing. You can use Rivals Meta to try and find the replays. A lot of them hide their replays, though. If that happens, try and respect it. Obviously, you can't check every player in a replay because otherwise no replay would be accessible literally ever. Because if enough players hide their replays, then it would be impossible to cast literally anything here. But I hope you are all enjoying today's games. I hope you will enjoy tomorrow's games. Shout out to the world. I will be in a different country in a few days. A little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure, but we'll be doing some fun. If anyone's in Amsterdam, then I am going to be there with my partner. If you want to come say hi, this is what I look like. But I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. What day is it going to be today? Today is going to be the 1st? 2nd? It's going to be the 1st or the 2nd. I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I hope you enjoy whatever day it is. Remember to like the video and comment to help support the channel, help it grow by supporting the algorithm so I can find the Ultron robots that is the YouTube algorithm and help this channel grow. And of course, once again, shout out to our members. If you don't want to pay consistently a monthly thing like a member, then you can support in these ways as well. Watch the video without ad block or with YouTube Premium. That way I'm taking Google's money. Literally. They have enough, give some to me. That is appreciated. You can also support by sharing the video and doing all those algorithmal boost things that I've said before. Really helps. And if you have a little bit of spare change lying around and you really want to support, then you can hit that thanks button. Instead of the memberships where you pay monthly and get your name shouted out, the thanks button will be a one-time shout out, but you will be supporting me without having to commit to any kind of subscription. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all had a lovely rest of your day, and I hope to see you all tomorrow.